Welcome to the ESI ePhone8 for the eSIP server phone tutorial presented by Preferred Data Voice Networks. The ESI ePhone8 is a high-end enterprise IP phone with a 7-inch touchscreen and up to 112 on-screen buttons. The phone has navigation keys, or you can use your finger to select options on the touchscreen display. The phone has a screensaver that will deactivate as soon as you press a button or lift the handset. The timing of the screensaver can be changed by pressing settings and scrolling to display. The fixed buttons on the phone are hold, voicemail, redial, headset only for certain headsets, the navigation keys, and this is a return key, a mute button, volume controls, a speaker button. You may also notice some of these options become available to you when in an active call mode. When the phone is idle, the screen will show the day, date, and time, and your extension number on the top left. There are also indicators along the top of the display letting you know certain notifications. When your phone is idle, you will see shortcut buttons for a dial pad, do not disturb, call history, where you can see all calls made and received from your phone, including internal extension calls, incoming calls, outgoing calls, missed calls, and forwarded calls. The apps button that shows all of the apps available on your phone, some of which we will not discuss in this tutorial. A voicemail button with an indication of how many new voicemail messages you have, a contacts button, and then the settings button. By the way, the settings gives you a lot of options that you can manage and control from your phone. When you press the unfold button, you can see all of the 112 on-screen buttons. Use your finger to scroll or the navigation keys. Press collapse to go back to the original view. On my screen, I have shared the ESI Trifold Quick Reference Guide that you should have received with your new phone called Getting Started with the ePhone8. It has quite a lot of information in it related to all of the topics that I'm going to cover on this video and even some additional topics. You may also receive a handout on Preferred Data Voice Networks letterhead from your system administrator that is customized to your system. Let's talk about button programming. All of those buttons that I just showed you on the phone screen can be programmed, and you can change how you want them to be. The most common programming button programming is for other extensions used for one-touch calling to that phone, one-touch transfer, one-touch pickup, and to see the phone status. Before programming a button, consider whether you will want to do blind transfers to that extension without an announce, or attended transfers with an announce and the ability to retrieve the call. I have placed on the screen the instructions that I'm now going to show you on the phone. And these instructions can also be found on the handout that I just referenced, and also on the handout that's on Preferred Letterhead if you received that. By the way, the ePhone8 handout, the Trifold handout, can also be found on our website. To program a button for a person's phone, press the unfold and choose an available button. Press and hold that button to program. Enter the extension number in the value field. You can use your keypad or the number pad on your screen. If a name is already saved in the system for that extension, it will pop up and you can select it. Or if you want to change that and put some other name or initials or last name or first name, you can do that here. Your backspace is right here on the dial pad, and then you can use the dial pad to type in what you want it to say. Type memory key is fine. And then under subtype, you're going to choose, the most common would be BLF blind transfer or BLF attended transfer. And I apologize, this doesn't show that well on the video, but it's on the screen. So I'm going to choose BLF blind transfer for this one. The line is fine. And then the pickup number, I can put in *04 and the extension number that I'm programming. And that way I can use this button for a one-touch call pickup to any ringing call at that extension. Once I'm done programming, I'm going to press the check mark on the top left of my screen. And now I've programmed a button for that extension that will be green when the extension is idle, flashing red if the extension is ringing, or solid red if the extension is in use. And of course, I can use it for transfers as mentioned previously. Making and receiving calls. To make a call, you can use your dial pad, and you can press this button here to see the dial pad on your screen, but you have a dial pad down here as well. So simply start dialing the number. If you want a backspace, you can use this backspace or delete button to re-enter. And if you want to see previous calls made or received from your phone, you can press the call log button and select one of those calls to dial it. So simply dial the number, and the system, if you press the green handset to send, it will call out, or it actually does time out after a certain number of seconds. So I'm on a call and my speaker button is lit. So I'm speaking on speaker button. If I pick up the handset, I will go to handset. If I press speaker, I'll go back to the speaker. So if I press this button here, it's a mute button, and it's also located on the top right of my screen. It's a little microphone with a line drawn through it. If I press it, it turns red and I'm muted to the caller. I can be muted to the caller on both speakerphone and handset. So if I've muted myself on speaker and I go to handset, I'm still muted to that caller, and I have to press the mute button to be heard. To go from handset to speaker, press the speaker button, and then you can adjust the volume for whatever you're using. So I'm in speaker mode, and I can see on the right side of my display the speaker volume. When I'm in handset mode, I can see the handset volume. And then if I hang up on this call and return to my main screen and press the volume up and down, that's going to adjust my ring volume. When your phone is ringing, you will see the incoming caller's caller ID and a ringing indication, as well as hearing a ringing indication. You'll see a green handset, a red handset, and a forward option. Video is not enabled at this time, but maybe in a future release. So to answer, press the green handset. You can also pick up the handset or press the speaker. If you press the red handset while your phone is ringing, it will go straight to voicemail. If you press the forward button, you can actually enter another extension number and send the call to that extension to forward it so that you're out of the call. If you do nothing when a call is ringing at your phone, it will eventually go to your voicemail after a specified time. When you're on a call, the phone will show the incoming caller's caller ID and several options: conference and hold, transfer, new call, and dial pad, as well as a red handset for hanging up. It also gives volume control options here. This is a video call option, and this is a call record option. To place a call on hold, press the hold button. To resume that call, press the resume button. New call will start a second call and place your first caller on hold. To return to that caller, again, you're going to press resume. Dial pad will show the dial pad when on a call so you can output digits. Whoops, I'm sorry, I have to resume the call. So you can output digits during that call. Press anywhere outside of the dial pad to return to the previous screen. There's a call record icon where it says incoming call. Looks like a little tape recorder. If you press that, then you are recording the call. All recorded calls on the ePhone8 will be saved to the phone's internal memory and can be accessed by pressing the Apps button and then Explorer Internal Memory and Records. If you want to move the recording to your computer or other device, insert a USB memory stick into the back of the phone. Press on the recording you want to move, select Copy or Move, then navigate to the USB memory and press Editor and Paste. If you are on a call and you receive a second call, you will receive an indication on your desktop with the second call's inbound caller ID and a ringing telephone icon. You can either press green to accept the second call and automatically place your first caller on hold, or if you press the red handset, you will reject the second call and they will go straight to voicemail and you will continue to speak with the second caller. So I've accepted the second call. So it's showing on my desktop with the elapsed time of call. And I can also see the other call that I was on, which was an outbound call. So it's showing the call number that I dialed. If I want to toggle back to that call, then I press it and I'm automatically placing the other call, the second call that I received on hold, and I can resume back to the original call. So I can press hold and go to the other call and resume to go back to that. So it's a little bit of a toggle and you're using your finger to go back between the two calls. Resume is always to return to the call. Excuse me, and resume is going to return you to the call that is in the larger box on your phone. Transferring calls. There are two ways to transfer calls. Blind transfer, where you send a call immediately to an extension, and attended transfer, where you can announce the call and retrieve it if the person on the extension does not wish to take the call. To make a blind transfer, well, I'll show you how to do it with and without a button for that person. So first, we're going to do a blind transfer to a button. So I'm going to press the unfold and use my finger to scroll to the button that I have created as a blind transfer button. I press that button while on a call, and then it's going to ring them, and it just says ending, and I'm off of the call. Had to get the call back. So then to do an attended transfer, if I have a button for somebody with an attended transfer set up, I'm going to press that button. Okay, and then it's going to ring their phone. I can wait for them to answer, announce the call, and then to send it, I can press transfer. Or if they say they don't want to take the call, I can press the red handset button to hang up with them and then resume to return to my caller. If I want to transfer to an extension that I don't have a button for, I'm going to press transfer here, dial that extension and the green handset button. And then from here, I can wait for them to answer and make the announcement if I want it to be attended, or I can press transfer to do a blind transfer and take myself out of the call completely. ePhone8 phone features. We talked about placing a call on hold. If you place a call on hold, it can only be retrieved at your extension. There's another feature on the system called Call Park. This will place the call in a holding state that can be picked up from any phone on the system. When you're on a call, ask the caller to hold. Press unfold and navigate to a park key, or it might say Call Park. Your phone will verbally tell you what park orbit the call is in. Notify the person that a call is parked and at what orbit. To retrieve a parked call from any system, any phone on the system, simply dial the park number and you have retrieved the call. D&D stands for Do Not Disturb and can be set from the main screen of your phone. When it is pressed, the icon will light in red, indicating that all calls to your extension that are transferred or calls to your direct dial number will go straight to voicemail and your phone will not ring. Press again to deactivate. If you have a page key, press unfold and press the page key to initiate a one-way page to all phones on the system. There may be additional page keys on your system for certain zones or to paging speakers. Call forwarding is used to forward all calls from your phone to another extension or an outside number. To activate for the first time, you're going to choose an available button. Press and hold that button. You choose type key event and then subtype scroll to call forward. And then you can title it call forward or CF or whatever you want to remember that it is. It could be even the number that you're call forwarding to if it's something that you're always going to forward to. Then press the check mark on the top left to save. So to call forward your phone, once you've got that key set up, press unfold and scroll to your call forward key, press it, and then you can choose to enable always forward, busy forward, or no answer forward. If you forwarded before, it'll have the number that you've put in there. And this number that you forward to, again, can be an extension number or a phone number. If it is a phone number, then it would be however you dial it from your phone. So 7 digits for local or 10 digits for long distance. So enter that number and say, okay, and then you can press where it says enable always forward. I know it's hard to see on the video, but it turns green. And then you can just use your return arrow to go back to your main screen. And then on the top here, you'll have a little icon of a handset with an arrow pointing off just to show you that it's call forwarded. And then if you pull down with your finger, you can see that call forwarding status. Always test call forwarding once you have set it up by calling your direct dial number or your main number and ask to be transferred to your extension. To disable, you're going to press that call forward button again and then press where it says enable to make it go black or white, depending on the view that you've got set up on your screen, but just make sure it's not green. And I'm returning to my main screen. To make a three-way call, have your first caller on the phone. This can be an inbound or outbound call. And then you can ask them to hold, and you're going to press conference on your display. Dial the second number. Wait for the person to answer. And then you can press conference again to place all three parties on a call. At this point, if you press the red handset button, you can hang up and be out of the call and the two outside parties stay together. Or you can press split to return to to return to each call individually. So I'm returning to one of my callers. I can talk to them, discuss the call, place them on hold, return to the other call, just like a split call on my phone, hang up with this call and return to this call. So it's just like having two calls on your phone. The last feature I want to mention is ringtones. You may want to change the way that your phone sounds when it is ringing. This is under settings. You're going to navigate down to where it says media and press sound and then press tone. And then you can select the current ringtone and use your finger to scroll. There are quite a lot of ringtones They're very musical. So you can select which one you want to hear. You can listen to them all. And once you find the one that you like, just press OK. You can also change the notification ringtone, which plays like when you get a new voicemail, for example. Voicemail setup and use. I'm going to give you the basics of how to set up your voicemail and access voicemail messages. For more detailed information, please reference what I am showing on the screen now, the ESI eSIP Evolution Series Voicemail Quick Reference Guide. You should have received this from your system administrator, or you can find it on our website. To access your voicemail box, press the voicemail button on your phone, either here or on the bottom of the screen. It looks like a little tape recorder. By the way, it tells you how many new messages you have, the little number in red. So if you press that, it's going to call the voicemail and it's going to prompt you to enter your password followed by the pound key. Initially, your password is the same as your extension number. If you have any new messages, you will hear them now. But initially, you should be prompted with a tutorial to set up your voicemail. The tutorial will prompt you to change your password and record your first and last name. Then the voicemail will tell you your mailbox is ready for use. You may, at this point, want to record a personal greeting. Here on the screen is a sample greeting. This is your name with your company. I am unable to take your call at this time. Please leave a message and I will return your call as soon as possible. To record the greeting that you want in your mailbox, you're going to press 0 and then 1 for greeting and then 1 for unavailable greeting. After your mailbox is set up, your display will show you have new messages here as mentioned previously and also with a blinking light. If you press the voicemail button and enter your password, the system will tell you how many new messages you have. You can press 1 to listen to the messages, and then after each message, you can press 7 to delete. You can also press 8 when listening to a message if you would like to forward. You may receive voicemail to email if your system is set up for that feature. Here is a sample voicemail to email. It may have a different sending address, but you will see the caller's incoming caller ID and name and number, and then the voicemail will be attached as a WAV file. If you're listening to this from a smartphone or iPhone or another type of device, you may be able to press on the phone number to call that person back. Depending on how your system is set up, you may have voicemail to email, voicemail notifications on your phone, or both. This concludes the ESI ePhone8 phone video tutorial. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you have a wonderful day.